I just found this interesting package called React Trace. So basically, now you can just hover the element on the React component that you can see the code, you can add a comment and etc. So let me show you the final project. So we're gonna build this dashboard here. Then as you can see down here, we have the indicator. If I click that, as you can see, for example, I'm gonna click this one in here. Then as you can see, we can see the code. We can just copy the path, open in VS Code. We can do that as well. Then we can add a comment. So let's try to click add comment in here. So for example, I'm gonna paste that comment. Active menu item need a left border accent, not just background highlight. I'm gonna add comment. Then as you can see, now we have the comment added one in here. Pretty cool. And also on the avatar component, I like to add a comment as well in here. Add comment. So the comment say add a notification bell icon next to the user avatar. So I'm gonna add comment. Then as you can see, now we have to comment, right? I can just copy the clipboard here. I can go to my OpenCode. Then now I can say like, please fix this. Then paste that comment, then hit enter. This is really useful for AI because it specific say what component it is and what the line of the code is. All right, as you can see, this is line 12, this is line 10. Pretty cool. So let's take a look. And this is done. Let me try to see. As you can see, now we have this border on the left side. Then we have the bell icon as well right here, right? That's how React REST help like a designer or a tech lead to review your dashboard, for example, and add a comment. And you can just fix that using that copy comment, or anyway, you can just send to the OpenCode in here. But for me, this not works. I'm not sure what happened, but so let's try to see how to install and use that. All right, so let's try to generate a brand new feed application. So I'm going to paste my prompt here, create a new feed plus React plus TypeScript project called Trace Dashboard, use npm and add Tailwind CSS version 4. Don't add anything else just yet. Hit enter. So now I'm gonna say open that project to my VS Code. I run the npm run dev. Then as you can see, we have this hello world. If I open the app.tsx, then as you can see in here, it's basically, yeah, it already used the Tailwind CSS class. So next, I like to create like a for component on the components folders. So first, I want to create the header.tsx. This basically will show the text dashboard on the left and user avatar circle with initial GD on the right side. Then we have the sidebar.tsx with vertical navigation with 4 menu items, overview, orders, customers, and then settings. First item is active or highlighted. Use Tailwind CSS, keep it clean and minimal. Just that's it. So I'm gonna copy, then open my VS Code, then paste that. Right. Oh yeah, I have to open my OpenCode again inside here. I'm going to paste and then hit enter. All right, this is done. As you can see, now we have the header.tsx, sidebar.tsx, starts card, then recent orders component. I'm gonna close that, and let's take a look. The headers. The header is simple. I love that. Then we have the recent orders. We also have the orders dummy data here. Cool. We also have the tables, as you can see here. Nice. Let me take a look at the sidebar. As you can see, using a side tag. Cool. We have also the menu items. Nice. Then starts card. Everything is nice. So the next thing is I like to create the dashboard component. This is my next prompt. I like to create folder called pages, and inside that I like to create a dashboard.tsx file. So dashboard.tsx file, it should be have layout like this. So full page with sidebar on the left, fixed with 200 pixel. Then we have the main content area on the right side with header at the top. Then below the header, show a row of 3 cards basically. This is the first card that have total revenue, the value, the trend, etc. And below the card, show recent orders. Then as you can see, import all components from the components folders. Then update the app.tsx to just render the dashboard page component. I'm gonna copy that, then paste that to my OpenCode. Where is that? This one here. Then I'm gonna hit enter. All right, this is done. So let's take a look at the result. And as you can see, it's look not good. As you can see here, the card is overlapped the sidebar. I don't want that. So I'm going to fix that using this prompt basically. Fix the layout in dashboard.tsx. The current layout is broken. The main content overlapped the sidebar. So I'm gonna hit enter. All right, so let's take a look at the result. Here I'm gonna go back to the browser. Then as you can see, is clean right now. That's what I want. Let me go back here. Now we are going to try to install this React REST. So let me go to get started, then installation. Then as you can see here, so first we need to install the package as a dev dependency, as you can see right here. Then we also need to set up the dev key on the package.json file, change that to this value. Then also we need to render that trace into the root. Just that's it. I already have my prompt basically. Let's take a look here. First, I'm going to install the package as a dev dependency using npm, then update the dev script in package.json to this value here, then create a root.tsx that render app inside the fragment alongside the trace component from React trace kit, and then pass this value here to trace. And finally, update the main.tsx to render root instead of app. So I'm going to copy that, then paste that to my prompt here, and then hit enter. All right, this is done. So let's take a look what happened here. As you can see, we have a new file called root.tsx. As you can see, it basically render the app, then trace, right? That's what we want. Then also we need to render the root inside the main. All right, we already do that. Cool, everything is set up. Let's take a look on the browser. Then as you can see, it's blank, nothing errors show, I'm not sure. Let's go to console, then as you can see, this is the error. Process is not defined. So this error happened because React REST is used some Node.js global like a process. So the process doesn't exist on the browser. So to fix that, we just tell the feed to replace the value with like an empty object, for example. So let me go back to the feed config here. Then I'm gonna put this define set equals to process.env to the empty object. So now let's try to refresh that. Then as you can see, yeah, the global as well. So we need to also replace the global value basically. So I'm gonna go back here. Then for the global, I'm gonna say empty object for now. Let's take a look. As you can see, it works, right? There's no error right now. As you can see, it looks like nothing happened in here, but as you can see on the bottom right here, we have this indicator. As you can see, we can press long command then X, or we can just click this button in here to inspect the element or component, whatever, right? As you can see, for example, this stats card, I'm gonna click that. Then as you can see, this one in here, so we can see this is basically start card component, then etc. Right? So for example, I like to what is this? This folder access needed. So I'm going to click grant access. I'm going to select the project, then click select here. Then I'm going to say allow. And as you can see, we can see basically the code in here directly. So we can make it bigger. As you can see, that's pretty cool. If you're working with team, this is really helpful. Imagine that your designer or tech lead that review this dashboard, they can just give a feedback to the AI agent. Like for example, as you can see this green color here, I'm gonna click that. Then as you can see, we can see the code in here. So let me try to expand that. Here we go. This one here, as you can see, this is using the like a hard code green color. So for example, the designer want to using the token system color, for example. So I can add a comment in here, right? Where is that? So let me try to add comment. So I can put a comment in here. So I'm gonna paste the comment like trend color should use a token from design system, not hard-coded green or red. So I'm gonna click comment. Then as you can see, it's saved that right here. So I can click that basically. Then let me try to find another thing that we can improve. So for example, this avatar here, I'm gonna try to click that. All right, this avatar right here. The comment, for example, avatar should show real user photo from API, not hard-coded initial. So I'm gonna add the comment. So as you can see now, the comment is 2, right? Pretty cool. Then also the beauty is we can click that message in here that we can send that to the OpenCode. So let me try to click that. Then this is basically the session. I'm gonna say just new here. So the message, I'm gonna say, please fix this UI review command from the dashboard. So I'm gonna click send. So anyway, I'm not really sure what's happening, but by default, OpenCode run as a TUI in a terminal, right? It actually has a built-in HTTP server running in the background. The problem is it doesn't allow connection from the browser by default. So React REST cannot reach it. We just need to add one course config to tell OpenCode it's okay to accept requests from our feed dev server on port 5173. So let's try that. Here I'm gonna go back to my OpenCode, then I'm gonna paste my prompt. So anyway, this is my prompt: add course config to allow this port here to connect to the OpenCode HTTP server. Just that's it. I'm gonna copy that and paste that to my OpenCode. Then let's take a look what's happening. Alright, this is done. As you can see, it's adding this object server and put this course value. So now let's try to go back here. Then I'm gonna paste this prompt. Please fix this UI review command from the dashboard. So I'm gonna click send. Then it still failed basically. I'm not really sure what's happening, guys, but if you know how to connect this, please let me know on the comment section below. But I'm not sure how to connect that. Anyway, so now we can just copy the clipboard right here. So we can say like, please fix this. As you can see, it gives us specific folder and file. As you can see, dashboard.tsx in line 20, trend color should use a token from design system, not hard-coded green red. As you can see right now, instead of hard-code the value red and green color, now it's using the variable color. Pretty nice. And also, as you can see on the avatar on the top in here, as you can see right now, it's adding the avatar URL props. If the avatar URL props have a value, it's render the image tag and use the source value in here. And also there's a feature open in VS Code. I'm gonna try to click that. Let's see, open Visual Studio Code. Then I'm gonna say yes. And as you can see, right, this is the header basically. So that's it for this video, and hopefully this package is helpful, and see you on another video.